how to become a Scrum Master with no experience. So without further ado, let's get started. If you're looking to kickstart your career to become a Scrum Master and you're asking yourself the question, hey, I don't have any experience here. I've never done this sort of thing before. What is the strategy for me to follow for me to land a job as a Scrum Master successfully in this day and age? There are a couple of things that you should know before you get into. And the first thing is that a lot of training courses right now are teaching you bare minimum fundamentals. By teaching you the bare fundamentals, you're not actually grasping what the role is and what the responsibility is of the Scrum Master in the office environment. You can see some of those roles and responsibilities highlighted here on the screen. If you don't know the tactical means on how this is done physically in the office, you will be at a disadvantage. So you see, this is where the current problem is. When you enroll in a 2-day CSM course or a PSM course, what's going to happen is that they're going to take you in, they're going to go through 2 days of who the Scrum Master is, what the product owner is, this is how the Scrum team works, and this is the Scrum process. That's it. They're not going to teach you anything else. Why this is problematic is because when you go for the interview, you're not going to be grilled on what is the Scrum process. In fact, most professional organizations till this day will only employ Scrum to a certain degree. It is not fully deployed and working in most instances. So what that means is you need to be flexible, you need to be adaptable to what's happening in the office environment. So don't just think what you're seeing, on the course is exactly what's going to be happening in the office environment. Absolutely not. There's a huge difference between the office environment and what's happening in the 2-day training course. So this is one of the biggest problems that we're having in modern day right now. Your ability to lead in those instances has a huge impact on the team. But again, this is not taught in a 2-day program. Removing obstacles. But it's not just obstacles, it's risks, it's issues. Hurdles, conflicts. How do you go about actually coaching a senior stakeholder? How do you get them involved in which they are completely on the opposite side? They are completely disagreeing with what you're saying. These are all things that you need to be able to do when you leave a program. The sad reality is most individuals that are getting qualified and certified do not even possess half of these skills. That's the big problem. And this is where you can differentiate yourself successfully going forward. And one of the biggest things is that how do you go about taking your existing skills and potentially transferring them into your new job, into your new role. And there are some areas that you want to look at. And these areas are very good for you to even look at right now. So as you're watching this video, take out your resume. Even my past students, take out their resume and look at it right now. Where in that resume are you demonstrating project management skills? Where are you demonstrating problem-solving skills? And where are you demonstrating effective communication? Now guys, when we say communication, we're not just talking about speaking. A lot of you are under the impression that we're just talking about speaking. We're not talking about speaking. What we're talking about is how do you articulate yourself clearly to the stakeholders? Can you articulate something very complicated that the team is working on? And can you articulate that in a business summary to the stakeholders? And this is nicely covered in Safe Scrum Master courses as PI objectives, which is not covered in any other 2D certification. Problem solving If there's two people that have had a disagreement, how do you go about resolving that disagreement? What if that disagreement turns into a massive fight? And those two individuals don't want to see each other ever again. How do you resolve that? How do you go about basically managing and organizing the project? Because there's going to be a lot of things that's needing to be sequenced, managed, organized, controlled, monitored. Are you aware of what those tools and techniques are? Have you clearly written that on your resume? So these are some areas that you want to look at in your present role that you're doing right now. And where do some of these exist? These are just a short snippet to give you an example of what you should be looking for, okay? And again, that means that you have no experience. But even if you have no experience, you should have something from your university, for something from your internship, something from your, when you did have a job. You do fit into one of these categories. No matter what job you've done, you will have one of these present. As we were saying, the resume is a very important piece. Number one, education. Number two, the contributions that you've made in projects. And number three, the skills that you have. And I would actually go about changing that to generic skills, but we'll come on to that. Educational background. We're not talking about if you have a university degree. We're not talking about if you have 10 years of experience as a Scrum Master. No, what we're just saying here is, what have you done to learn? What have you done to improve your knowledge of becoming a Scrum Master here, okay? This is about relevant certifications and methodologies. So what is relevant in the market today? Well, if you look at the statistics from the 14th Annual Agility Report that was released, I think it's now the 15th version by now, 65 to 70%, I think it's even 75% of organizations globally have adopted the Scaled Agile SAFe framework. What that means is that anyone that's looking to become a Scrum Master today should be in line with what organizations are doing. Because if you take the opposing certification, you're not going to have a good chance of getting into that organization. That's the sad reality, okay? So take SAFe Scrum Master, you will get a head start and get one foot in the door. And then all you got to do is demonstrate that you are a likable person for that organization. And on top of that, in your resume, as we said on the previous slide, show your contributions. Where have you contributed in those projects? This is very important, because if you are failing to show where those contributions have came from, I worked on this project, by working on this project, I led the team in this specific way, and we managed to get this result. These were my key achievements. I don't even see that in most resumes that are submitted to me till this day. That's why it's a huge problem that you've got to show, well, clearly show, emphasize what you have done and demonstrate those agile traits. And those agile traits can be very simple. You collaborated with your team, you communicated with stakeholders, you had a very iterative and incremental process set up. Now guys, have I mentioned Scrum in this entire video, except for once or twice? Scrum is the most smallest piece in this. It's the smallest jigsaw puzzle, and that's what they're teaching you in PSM and CSM courses. So stay away from that. What you got to see is the bigger picture. To see the bigger picture, the organizational picture, this is where SAFe comes in. So that's your project contributions. Now you got to look at your skills. Now, it's not just technology here. They're also using Microsoft Office. Are you good at putting a PowerPoint together? You'll be shocked on how many times as a Scrum Master I had to put PowerPoint presentations together. And that's your biggest skill right there, is your ability to communicate to stakeholders, to your team via PowerPoints. But can you do it clinically? Can you do it in a short, concise manner that everyone's going to understand? This is where your skills come in, again, about communication. So this is the elements that goes for a strong resume. When it comes to the securing a job, networking and professional development is extremely important. So you need to be involved in professional networking events. So when you take a program, any program, not even my program, any other program, you need to actually go about networking. You're not going to land a job like this. You need to put the time and the effort in to go on networking opportunities. These are called meetups. This is called LinkedIn posts. This can also be putting up a video of you talking that you are a newly certified Scrum Master. This helps build presence of who you are and I am on the market. If you fail to do this, nobody actually knows you are a Scrum Master right now and you're looking to find a job and you are here in the market right now. No one knows. If you don't do this, you have to put yourself out on the market. That's important. Professional courses, again, this is probably the single most important factor that's going to either make you successful or it's going to make you completely fail. As you probably know, you cannot get a transformation in a CSM and a PSM course. It fails to even showcase that. What you actually need here is a proper program that focuses on the Scrum Master skills, the organizational aspects, but some extras, the business domains. If any of you have looked at my channel, you would know I've spoken about the 8S framework. This is why my students are very successful in landing jobs. They have a much more differentiating factor. They have a much more faster time to market because they have went on a program that contains fantastic business domain knowledge, which is what modern day Scrum Masters are lacking. And the communication. So guys, when it comes to your communication, we're talking about communication in the office, with your colleagues, but also when you're certified and you're looking for a job, you gotta be communicating every day that I'm here, I'm in the market, I'm ready to find a Scrum Master job. Recruiters, reach out to me. Start demonstrating your project contributions. Heck, I've even seen some of my students go on LinkedIn and they've clearly mentioned, I am a brand new certified Scrum Master and these are my projects that I've got and this is how I've contributed on those projects. I'm looking to find a job. It has worked. I've seen it work. But this takes time and effort. And time and effort you have to put in. You have to be committed to your own journey. One other way that you can look at is looking at internships and also volunteering. What this actually shows is that you are prepared to dive into the deep end because these internships and even these volunteering roles allow you to gain experience and it actually allows you to gain visibility in terms of what's happening in the vicinity. That's a good thing for you and that's actually putting on more muscle onto you and it's putting more muscle onto your resume. So don't be shy to walk away from this. This is extremely important stuff. It shows a determination from your behalf that you're eager to learn. So anyone that's being certified from the programs, how many of you have actually volunteered? I guess the answer is 0, right? But this is something that I encourage in my programs, is that you want to go about volunteering. But also find opportunities to get involved in some projects. Reach out to companies and recruiters that I'm looking to take on some work and I'm happy to see how I can contribute to the project. And the company would be benefiting more than anything because they're outsourcing the work to some certain degree. Make sure you sign that NDA and that's it. So this is possible, but it's only possible if you put yourself into that space. You put yourself onto the market that, hey, I'm ready to do this, okay? Now guys, here's the other problem. Do you have the practical experience to demonstrate that you know exactly what to do? Let's say this individual here is a certified Scrum Master. Do you know exactly what to do when that person gives you the project? Do you know exactly what are the activities that you need to do as a Scrum Master when that project's given to you? If someone gives you a project brief today, what do you do with that project brief? What are the steps for the Scrum Master? Do you just start running sprint planning meetings? Do you go straight into a daily stand-up? No. None of them. Actually, it will surprise you, it's totally different. You don't do none of these things. What you actually do is that you start to look at it from a holistic perspective. This is where the business domain knowledge areas come in. This is why the 8S framework is extremely important for your career going forward. The certification alone isn't enough. It's good enough, but it isn't enough. That's the problem. One of the most important things is that you need to demonstrate your passion for agile methodologies. Some of the personal projects that you've worked on. Now look guys, I have worked on many personal projects within my household, with my mother and my father, with friends and colleagues. Show them. There's agility built in all of this. If you're doing something in short cycles and you're delivering something incrementally, this is wonderful stuff for your resume to have, for you to demonstrate to your recruiter. So personal projects, wonderful idea to put in there, and write down your contributions to communities. Look guys, agility, the agile way of working, is a very democratized way of working, shared way of working. It's an empowered way of working, whereby we want individuals to be contributing, we want individuals to be involved, to be supportive. It's a very open and welcoming community. And you need to be demonstrating that you are part of those individuals. That is the supportive element. And start looking at what you can do and give a positive contribution back to the community. This is why it's very important. And again, for all you individuals that are certified right now, when was the last time you did any of this? You're showing what your professional contributions are, but when are you showing these other elements? You're not. That's a big piece to pay within your resume. So important to take note of this, that this demonstrates your passion more than anything. That person that's going to be recruiting you knows about agility, knows the agile ways of working, and you've just put your resume in front of them. They're wanting to see, does this person actually understand the agile community ways of working? This is my conclusion and some of the next steps that you can take. Always be continuously learning. Now guys, within my programs, I don't just stop at Safe Scrum Master certification, and the 8S framework gives you the differentiating factors that you need to be successful. But on top of this, I provide advanced Scrum Master training, so that if you want to become a senior Scrum Master or an Agile coach or beyond, this fits into your continuous learning area. This is where you want to definitely get involved, and it'll provide you the next steps going forward. And the job application process, make sure you're applying for the right level of jobs. Junior Scrum Master roles is very good to get involved in, and even just entry-level Scrum Master jobs. But guys, this is again where my programs play a massive, massive differentiating factor. We're not teaching you to just go after Scrum Master jobs. We're teaching you to go after a multitude of jobs. This is why people pick my programs, because those other domains of business knowledge gives you that accuracy to go in there and start applying for those jobs. And more importantly, it gives you a unique selling proposition. It gives you a differentiating factor which other Scrum Masters that are certified don't have. They're just certified in Scrum. You're certified in those 8 business domains, and on top of that, you are certified in skills that are a multitude. They are multifaceted into multiple areas. So you can become a manager, something else, and something else. This is what I share with you in the program. This is why it benefits you. This is why the payoff is far more greater. And obviously, don't forget, there's an agile way of working. You need to be continuously engaging the community. So guys, that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for watching. You might have seen something at the bottom there, a banner, which is to sign up to my Scrum Master Training Academy. Make sure you do that. It contains a lot of educational videos for you to get a quick start in building your Scrum Master knowledge. But on top of that, it's going to actually show you what to avoid, some of the biggest mistakes that people are making right now becoming Scrum Masters, where not to waste your time, money and effort, fast track techniques, and what are some of the important frameworks that you need to know today. You're only going to learn that in my Scrum Master Training Academy for completely free. All you gotta do is click on the link below, put your name and your email address in there, and bang, you'll get an email in your inbox. It'll contain your username and your password and your login link. Use it, log in, and watch the must-watch collection. 10 fantastic videos that's going to take you from nowhere to somewhere. That's the beautiful thing about this. It's going to take you from having zero knowledge to somewhere. So you know exactly your roadmap, your self-project plan to become a Scrum Master. So if you thought all this was good, think again when you get into the Scrum Master Training Academy. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Also check out my social media platforms. And until next time, take care of yourselves.